class. Welcome to Abroad Sex Education, where we discuss everything you wish you learned in school. I'm your host and ex-sugar baby, Sin. And today, my co-host and student is Brooklyn.
Hey.
Hey. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
I feel like we always do that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll shake it up. We'll shake it up. What's it say today? You're looking extra naughty and you're looking extra nice.
Thanks. This podcast is a sex education resource intended for an adult audience. We'll be having real, inclusive conversations about sexuality, pleasure, relationships, gender, identity, and more. Some topics may be considered explicit or sensitive, especially in today's lesson, where we'll discuss sugar relationships, power dynamics, and transactional relationships. There will also be mentions of grooming and human trafficking. Our goal is to break the stigma and provide the kind of sex education many of us never got. We're learning too, and we're bringing what we learned straight to the classroom so we can all grow together. You deserve to know what this is about so you can make an informed choice to listen, or not. That's what consent looks like, even here. It's a holiday-themed episode today. Are you excited?
Yeah, Santa's a voyeur.
Yes, Santa's a voyeur.
He's always watching.
So today's episode is called Santa's Baby, Unwrapping the Naughty and Nice of Sugar Dating. And it's a holiday special. This is going to be the last episode of the year. After this, you guys are out for winter break. And then next year, we'll come back with a new season.
Can't wait to put into practice everything we've learned from our first semester.
So this lesson, I'm excited for. I just decided to do this because I thought it would be funny.
I'm very intrigued. I'm very interested. I've got a lot of questions. I want to know if I should be doing this on the side.
Yes, okay.
Or not, depending.
I have advice. I have feedback. I have concerns. I'll let you know everything.
Great.
Today's lesson, we're going to just go into social science. What is a sugar relationship? A deeper look. We're going to go into economics, understanding the structure behind sugar arrangements, and then story time, which is something we haven't had before, but the library will be open and I will be sharing my experience as an ex-sugar baby. And lastly, we'll have geography, which is a festive quiz on holiday traditions, myths, and songs. Not really sugar baby related, but holiday related, so still fun.
It's still fun.
Yeah. And as you can see from the slides today, it's all candy themes because sugar.
Also, nobody likes peppermint, so it's an interesting choice. Like, it's sexy visibly,
Yeah.
but taste-wise, not as much.
I like candy canes, but I'm not.
The original?
Yeah, like a
Oh.
plain candy cane, but I don't like it enough to just like suck on a candy cane.
Yeah, nobody. I mean, that's the point of it.
Yeah.
Like, you like it, but you're like not enough to eat it.
No, I'll eat it,
Oh.
but I don't. It's just like a stick of sugar.
I think it's like the peppermint part that's gross.
I like the peppermint pie, but do you not like mint desserts?
Like, I'm not gonna go for the mint ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would get a different kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first off, social science. What is a sugar relationship? A sugar relationship is a consensual transactional relationship with two parties, a sugar baby and a sugar daddy or mommy, with them both agreeing on the terms and conditions of that relationship. Their role mainly is to provide the kind of support that a sugar daddy or sugar mommy would want. And that can come from different things. To me, it's not that different than a regular relationship. The only difference is everyone's really upfront about what it is. It's really direct. There's just that level of awareness that it is very transactional.
What point am I starting to ask questions?
You can ask questions throughout the whole thing.
So, a lot of questions.
Okay.
Is there always sex?
Not always, but in my experience, it tends to just be a relationship. And then
Like a friendship?
No, just like a romantic relationship. And then they just like support you,
Okay.
financially support you.
Are sugar babies actually physically attracted to their sugar daddies and mommies, or are they just like, I'm just gonna deal with it because, you know, the situation? Are they actually attracted to the person, or is it just like, I'm just gonna close my eyes?
It really depends, because there are some sugar daddies and sugar mommies out there that are attractive.
Of course.
So it's
But
not
like, I mean, right, there's somebody for everybody. But like, because the basis is more about the financial exchange, is that predominant over attraction?
Are you basically asking, like, because there's a financial aspect of it, does that ruin the attraction of it?
Or like, does the attraction component not matter because that's not part of the exchange?
Yeah, the attraction component doesn't matter on the sugar baby's end to the sugar daddy.
Okay.
I think what matters more for the sugar baby is that the sugar daddy or the sugar mommy is respectful of the sugar baby's boundaries.
Okay. So let's say I'm a sugar baby.
Yeah.
My boundary is I don't want to have sex with them, but I want their money and I'll be nice and kind to them and I can be like sweet and kind and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a job out there for me?
Yes, but in my experience, those are very few and far between.
Okay.
It's definitely possible, and it does take a lot of weeding out.
Mm-hmm. This is not like a part-time job where you could have an actual relationship on the side, or can you?
I know some people who are in thriving relationships.
Percentage-wise, are there more straight sugar daddies with straight sugar babies than sugar mommies or a gay sugar daddy to a gay sugar baby?
I don't know the percentage breakdown, but there are sugar mommies, gay sugar daddies, and lesbian sugar mamas.
Uh-huh.
So they're all around. But there's also splendid daddies.
And a splendid daddy is what?
A splendid daddy is a guy that thinks he's a sugar daddy, but is really broke and is like trying to be like, oh, like I'm gonna provide for you, but really can't.
He's just a con man.
So she's just got mad, yeah.
With my luck, I would end up with one of those if I tried this.
There's like
Amateur hour over here.
So a sugar relationship is a negotiated dynamic with clear and expectations and boundaries for both parties. It often includes companionship or emotional support. It's not automatically sexual and not automatically exploitative. From my experience, it is a lot of companionship and emotional support. And when I've talked to sugar daddies, a lot of them like it because it's just much more direct. And I think that's the reason I liked it too. It's like there's no game of, oh, do they like me? It's not like dating. It's like, I like you. I'm really busy. I want to see you a few times a month. And I want to make sure you're taken care of in that time frame while we are seeing each other.
Is there always an age gap as well?
Not always. There are some guys that were like in their 30s. Because it's also some guys that just don't have the time or the social skills really to like date, and they just want to have this kind of relationship.
Why wouldn't they hire like a coach or like in the material lists, whatever her job title was, when hot, rich Pedro Pascal hired her? He didn't hire her. He dated her. But his brother hired her to like find a match for him. Why would somebody with money choose this over hiring an expert?
For a lot of them, it is because it's a lot more direct. You can negotiate the terms. Some sugar daddies get into it because they like spoiling. They like taking care of their partner.
It's kind of like feederism, but like spoiling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh, if you hear a cat in the background,
I apologize. Cat is expressing his needs.
Yeah. So why do sugar babies go into it? It's more for stability, mentorship, confidence, exploration, or because it has clear expectations versus dating ambiguity. Which again was the thing that I liked. I like the like clear direction of like we both are going into it knowing what this is.
And is that like the start of the arrangement? Is there like a contract, like we're going to do this for 3 months or we're going to do this for 5 years? Or is it potentially could be forever, like a normal relationship?
Depends on the agreement between both parties. Usually, I think the first date is to get to know each other. And then by the second date is usually when that conversation of like allowances and finances comes in.
Okay.
And in those instances, you're setting expectations and boundaries and like what each other wants from one another. There are different types of sugar relationships. So there's an allowance-based one where it's like every time you meet or like however many times a month your sugar daddy or sugar mommy will give you an allowance to spend. You can do something experience-based where it's not them giving you money, but they're like taking you out to really nice dinners or taking you on vacation or buying you a bunch of things. Sometimes the relationships can be platonic or just companion focused. Like it could be just someone that just wants someone to talk to. And then there's hybrid. So there's someone that could do any three of these.
Is this like an online profile?
Yeah. So it's like seeking arrangements, the site, and like the guys have to list their salary income.
Oh, it's called seeking arrangement. Okay.
Seeking arrangements. Yeah. Yeah. There's a bunch of different types of sugar relationship websites.
Okay.
The seeking arrangements is, I think, just the most popular one.
Okay.
Allowances represent different things. It can represent time, access, emotional labor, companionship, sexual intimacy, experience sharing, predictability, and clarity. I think I don't see it very different as someone investing in you and your time. They're just actually putting a number towards it. Allowances are negotiated terms. It's different for every relationship, and while the relationships are not inherently romantic or sexual, they can be.
But how can these relationships work legally when prostitution is illegal in the US? How do they like get around it?
Because you can have sugar relationships where it's not, they don't give you money, they just take you on like trips. And like most people who get into sugar relationships are trying to pay for higher education.
Mm-hmm.
And so it could be like they'll just write the check to the school.
Oh,
So it could be
it's almost like kind of money laundering in some ways.
in some ways, yeah. But I wouldn't say that. I mean, there's definitely some that are allowance based, but it's not like right after sex they pay you. Like sometimes it could just be like, okay, every 5th of the month, I'm going to wire you $5,000.
Okay.
And then you just have money.
Okay. This makes sense.
So it's not transactional, like they're paying for you every time they have sex. You could just be like, oh, I really want this really cute purse. And then they'll just buy it for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Story time. So the library is open. I would just tell you, I guess, more about my experience with it. The reason I decided to explore sugar dating, there was a few reasons.
When did you start?
Or I think it was like mid to early 20s. I think I was maybe 23 or 24 at the time. Yeah, that's right. I was like 23, 24 because I remember still being in college, but I was like in my either junior or senior year of college. I was like already done, and I was working part of the time. I was a sugar baby.
How long did you do it for? You started like 23, 24. How long were you a sugar baby for?
For like 3 years.
Okay.
2 or 3 years. It was like on and off. Like there was one time I was actually dating a sugar daddy for a whole year. Like we were together for the whole year.
One of those 3 years was a full relationship.
Yeah, one of those 3 years was a full relationship. After him actually stopped. Yeah, and the reasons I liked it was, there was a few reasons. One, I was already dating like men older than me, which is hilarious now because he's younger than me.
Was that just because you liked, why?
I liked older men because I didn't feel like the men my age at the time had the emotional maturity I was looking for in a relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're trying to develop their brains still. Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of men have the emotional maturity.
I was gonna ask, like, so did the older men? Because I don't feel like sometimes that helps.
No, I mean,
sometimes.
It was better, but it wasn't like consistent.
Yeah.
You know, and I also liked how direct it was. I liked that if it didn't work, you'd just be like, I don't think we're a match. And then you just like move on. They're more respectful and straightforward with time.
I could see that being the case because I feel like even if a guy is not like in a traditional dating relationship, even if a guy's not super into you, but he thinks he could still get laid, then he might not be as direct with you.
Right. Versus like here, I think with sugar daddies and sugar mommies, there is that level of why waste each other's time with it. That's why I feel like they're a little bit more direct.
Yeah.
I like to just try things, especially when it comes to like human sexuality things. So when I heard about it, I was like, this seems interesting. Like, let's try.
I would try being a sugar mommy.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to be called that though.
But you would be the one that would be giving financial assistance?
Yeah, I mean, don't have the finances to do that. But if I did, I don't think I would mind being that.
Yeah. But would you enjoy it?
It depends.
Yeah.
Like, it depends who is my arm candy. Like, if it's Robert Irwin, okay.
That makes sense. I do think there's that level of power and control that the sugar daddy or mommy likes having.
Mm-hmm.
And while it's not ideal,
It's part of the arrangement.
yeah. And so when I was doing it for 3 years. I think the first couple of years when I had like sugar daddies here and there, and it was just like shorter term relationships. Like
How
I would,
short are we talking?
I would probably see them for like 2-3 months.
Okay.
But it was because there were times where like I was not able to be as available to them because of school and work.
Okay.
So that got like a little dicey.
And how, on average, how often are you expected to see them? I know that's like part of the arrangement.
Usually it was like once a week or once every couple of weeks.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
It is taking away from my social time, but it's not too bad. Yeah, I guess when you're like in college,
Yeah,
you
you kinda
do have more time.
Yeah. So what surprised me about it is how much age didn't really matter for emotional maturity for men.
I feel like I'm the only person in the world that says that to people. So thank you for saying that, because I feel like I get it all the time from people where they're like one of my friends that is single, she gets self-conscious about dating younger than her. And I'm like, the last guy you dated was older and he had the maturity of like a 13-year-old. So it's really fascinating, not just men, but women too, that sometimes in adulthood, we're not all progressing at the same rate. And some of us are just left behind, you know?
Right. They had their shit together, but there was like a lack of depth with the sugar daddies. They lacked the conversation skills. Like that does
Yeah,
not change.
yeah.
It's one of the reasons I also decided to go into it. I was like, oh, I would like the mentorship aspect of it. I'd like the like gifts and stuff. And I like being able to have more intelligent conversation. And I do feel like I did learn a little bit more about like finance and like doing this really showed me how the world works for men.
Yeah.
Specifically how rich white men get to navigate in society.
Well, and kind of what you're talking about, like that there's not a lot of depth. If you're financially that successful, you're probably pretty one-dimensional in your interest as well, and like the way that you spend your time. So you probably only have a very limited topic of conversation that you could talk about
Right.
with somebody. And so your like breadth of conversation is not going to be very focused on anything else.
Yeah. A lot of them are also married. Like that's a lot of them also just cheating on their wives.
And so the wives don't,
No.
in quote unquote, know about it. Like
Yeah.
they're looking the other way.
Yeah, they just don't know about it. They straight up don't know about it. There's a lot of married men on there.
That's disappointing, fellas.
Yeah.
What about the women?
I've never met a sugar mommy.
You know who I would love to have be my sugar mommy?
Who?
Shania Twain. It sounds random, but a few years ago, my friend was like, let's go see her. And I was like, okay. So we went to see her in concert, and she, like, first thing comes out, she's super far away, but not super far away. It was like a small arena, and the light came on, and my best friend was like, oh my God, she's gorgeous. And I was like, I think I'm gay now. She's so hot. She's gorgeous. If she wanted to be my sugar mommy, I would fully be on board.
Yeah.
If anyone knows Shania Twain, just put it out there. Your girl, Brooklyn. I think that would be more fulfilling.
Yeah.
For me personally, as a straight woman.
Right. After doing it for 3 years, I realized like I don't want to feel like a person has financial control over me. When I was in the actual like year-long sugar relationship, I had finished school and I was working. So the money from a sugar relationship was really helpful to me, but I was very dependent on it. And I feel like when it gets to that line, that's when it gets like really exploitative. But I also hate listening to rich men complain about their lives when they have the financial resources to stop these things from being a problem.
Right.
So for me,
Like, give me an example of a complaint.
I can't remember.
Because I feel like you could throw money at any problem to make it go away.
Right. And it's usually like, oh, like this person and the business is like pissing me off, or like something about their ex-wives, or something about
Or their
like,
current wife. Oh,
yeah.
God, her in the way again.
It was a lot of listening to someone complain or vent about their problems. I got to that point where I wanted to be in a relationship with someone that I can introduce to my family and build a life with. Like, I got over the sugar relationship because I never met anyone in sugar dating that I was like, oh, this is like someone that's nice. That would be like a long-term partner. And those can happen. I never had that experience. So I was done with it. It's like, I didn't want anyone to have. I wanted to be like that shirk where her mom's like, why don't you marry a rich man? She's like, Mom, I am a rich man. It's like, I wanted
You want to be the sugar mommy.
Yeah. I don't want to be I mean,
you do.
Yeah.
We all do. Unless Shania wants me, then I'll be the sugar baby.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this as from a career perspective. And I'm like, would I be good at this? Would I want to do this? And I was on board with like a platonic thing, or Shania Twain is my sugar mommy. But then when you start talking about the complaining all the time, now I've been like, actually, I would be really bad at this job.
Yeah. The thing that stressed me out is it was a lot of my emotional energy that I was investing in.
Right. That's the part that would be difficult for me.
Yeah.
And I guess it would be hard to relate to their problems because of that gap that is happening in your lifestyles. So
Right.
I think that part would be a challenge.
Right.
What did you say that the experience taught you? That age doesn't matter for maturity?
The age doesn't matter for maturity, that I want to financially support myself. I think it also just taught me to be more open-minded and less judgmental.
What ways did you learn to be less judgmental?
I think it was more or less judgmental to other women, not necessarily towards men. I got more judgmental.
That's what I was like, oh.
I was more judgmental towards men. I was less judgy of relationships where there was like a large age gap dynamic, and I was like more understanding of it. I guess I also learned a lot about myself. Like when I was a kid, I remember in like middle school writing an essay about like what job we wanted to do, and I wrote mine on like, I want to be a mom. Wildly incorrect. I don't want to be a mom anymore. I think about it now. I'm like, would I enjoy being a housewife, just staying at home? And I'm like, no, I would absolutely hate it.
I agree. But as a kid, I thought the same thing for two reasons. One was that was like what I saw was everybody just had kids and that was it. And two, as a kid, when you're at home, you're like playing, having fun. And so you think that's what staying home is as an adult. But as an adult, you're like cleaning the dishes and like bored out of your mind by yourself.
I would find that wildly boring, like not interesting at all whatsoever. So the experience taught me to expect a lot more from myself then.
Yeah. And you want to be in control of your own life.
Yeah. Right. What worked, I think the directness really worked. And that's probably one of the reasons I try to be a little bit more direct in a relationship, because I feel like I learned from the get-go, know what I wanted, and then being able to say, this is what I'm looking for in this type of relationship. But the things that didn't work was obviously the feeling like someone else had control of me, and I did not like that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see how somebody that has that like type of financial success is kind of used to getting whatever they want and used to getting their way all the time. I could see how they would not be good at compromising, especially with somebody that is kind of at their mercy.
Right. Right. When I did it previously, a lot of it was more experience-based. Like they would always pay for everything. And so that was why it was beneficial, because even while I was working, they were like fronting the financial costs for a lot of stuff.
What was the like most extravagant or like most unique experience that you had during your time?
It was a lot of like really fancy dinners. I never went on trips because that was another thing, is I didn't feel comfortable going on long trips with people.
Especially to another country, perhaps.
To another country.
International waters. I've seen how that ends.
Even like on a road trip somewhere, I just didn't feel comfortable going, because this isn't someone that like I fully knew. And yeah, they had the financial means to take care of me, but they also had the financial means to get rid of me.
I was thinking that same thing. I was like, is she going to say it? Because I'm thinking it.
So I never felt comfortable doing anything more than like doing dinners and like, because that's honestly at that point, that was like the extent of it. It was like, I just wanted someone to take care of that. And then they also bought me gifts. One of them bought me some Tiffany's jewelry, which I fucking lost that shit because, and that's how much I get.
Lost it?
I don't care about
Can't even
jewelry.
resell it.
I don't care about jewelry enough to like, it was just like a basic return to Tiffany's necklaces and stuff and bracelets and like charm bracelets. But it's just like, I just didn't need it, you know?
Well, and that kind of also shows, I guess, how they didn't really know you that much. Because like you just said, I don't really care about jewelry. I don't have a need for it. But that's what they were gifting you because they were like, I don't know, women like this.
Yeah. I was more down for like the going out to dinners or going to like shows and stuff like that. I think it was a good experience, but I would not do it again.
Would you recommend it?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend getting a sugar daddy. A sugar mommy, I can't say. If you're doing it as like a side thing, but you fully can fund your own life and you just happen to meet someone and you guys like get along and you have an agreement that works for you, fantastic. That's great. I'm all for that. But I think that it gets glamorized a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really easy for this to be a situation that like could potentially be a trafficking / grooming situation.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've heard very many stories where a person that was a sugar baby ever came into it in a good financial situation.
Like
Most
out of desperation.
yeah,
kinda.
it's a lot of the time it is out of financial need. And that's where I think it really blurs the line of being a little bit more exploitative. And like I've seen it a lot on TikTok now where it's like a bunch of people, oh yeah, like my sugar daddy will do XYZ and get me all of these things. And it's just like all these people being like, look at me, look at all the stuff that I get from my sugar daddy. I don't think we need to be like promoting it as a thing that everyone should be doing this because there's also the dangers that come with it.
And what if you get stuck with a splendid daddy?
Right. But I did include some tips if people are interested in doing this on the next slide.
Before we get to that,
Yeah.
I do have a really important question.
Yeah.
On the last episode I was on, you told me that you think I would be a really good wife in a lavender marriage.
Yeah.
Do you think I would be good either as a sugar baby or a sugar mommy?
I think you would be a good sugar mommy because I think you have the independence enough to know like what you want and do not want from a partner and to have a sugar baby and for them to like enjoy their relationship enough that they're just like with you all the time. Sugar baby, I don't think you would like it. I think you would hate it.
Once you said complaining, I was like,
You would hate it for the exact same reasons I did.
yeah. Answered my own question there. Yeah.
It's just the complaining, just like, oh, like I hate it when people complain, but they don't be like, okay, well, I'm gonna do XYZ to like fix this situation.
Yes.
And it was a lot of that. Again, I was in my early 20s, and a lot of the men that I dated at the time were probably like 50 to 60 years old.
Okay.
And so I was like, we clearly did not have any conversations with depth. Like, what did we have in common to even have these kinds of relationships?
And they were, it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, they were in a position where maybe they would have had really good life advice to give you in a mentorship kind of way, not just financial, but like life advice and decision advice. It sounds like you didn't get any of that from them.
No, I felt like their advice was stupid.
And they were like, if you're just be a white man. That's the advice.
Yeah.
Have you tried being a white man?
Their advice only applied to their life and their experience, not to a person of a global majority or to a woman, you know? Because their lived experience was as a white man, it was really difficult. So these are my 10 tips for anyone that's interested in becoming a sugar baby. I can't speak for anyone who wants to be a sugar daddy or a sugar mommy because I've not lived that. So, but these are my top tips.
Step 1, get rich.
Yeah. So for sugar babies, know what your boundaries are. Like, know already what you are okay and not okay with in this relationship. And then also know what you want from a sugar relationship. Like, do you want more experiences? Do you want more of an allowance? Have a clear definition of what you are okay and not okay with. Then secondly, do not enter a sugar arrangement when you are financially desperate. Most people do enter it in this situation,
Right.
but again, this is when it becomes exploitative. And because you are financially desperate, those are the situations that you're more likely to weaken your boundaries because you're desperate.
Yeah. That's really good advice.
Yeah. Next is keep all communication in writing at first. Like, just get it in writing, cover your bases. Always meet in public on your first meet. Always, always, always. And make it a very public and very populated place. Don't meet just at a park that no one goes to every so often. Like, go.
Yeah, I feel like any online dating meeting of any type should be in a super public place.
And also try not to be in any position where you're inebriated.
Also,
don't let someone else control your finances. This is obvious. Don't let someone else have access to your bank accounts or anything like that. Trust your gut and don't hesitate to leave if something gets weird, because if I'm being 100% honest, in the first 2 years, there have definitely been times I did not trust my gut when I should have.
I think that's a common problem for a lot of women. So I think it's a really great topic to have that applies just beyond sugar baby, sugar daddy relationships. I think women are trying to be polite and kind too often. And I'm not worried about offending anyone. If I don't want to get in that elevator, I'm not going to.
Right. Keep a safety system. I did this with my friends. So I would text my friends like, oh, I'm going to do this. So I'm going to be here with this person. And I'll text someone and get back. So it was like, I was keeping someone else that I knew I was in a sugar relationship. I was keeping them informed about it.
Yeah. And I would also maybe tell the person that you're with, like, oh, let me just share my location with my friend. Okay, let's start the date.
Yeah. Now definitely share your location for sure. Know the red flags for grooming or trafficking.
What would you say are the red flags?
For grooming or trafficking? Someone that's rushing into the relationship, over-promising money or gifts, isolating you from your friends or from work.
That's so interesting, because that would also to me be a red flag of, I mean, even just like a non-trafficking situation, but an abusive relationship, I would be like, oh, that also is a red flag for that.
Yeah, it's essentially the same as the
It is a different form of abuse.
Yeah, right. It's a financial abuse because they're trying to control you with your finances. That's the thing that I'm concerned about. If they ask you to manage your finances, they don't respect your boundaries, or when you say no, or threatening you or guilting you if you try to leave. So again, thing that's similar to an abusive relationship. Just remember, your autonomy is non-negotiable. If they want exclusivity or access, it has to be your choice. If something feels off, especially on that first date, just leave. It's okay to leave. There's nothing wrong with it.
The second something feels off, don't let them like gaslight you into not believing that or whatever. Trust your gut, like you said, and just be like firm about it. No, I'm going to leave.
Right.
And also, so many bartenders will happily help you, or servers, or wherever you are, whatever public place that you're in. That's part of the reason that you want that public place, because they'll call you an Uber and make sure you get in there safely.
Before we continue for the pop quiz, did you have any other sugar relationship questions? Because we're leaving the sugar part.
Oh, we're leaving the sugar trail behind. Okay. What advice, as a former sugar baby, would you give a sugar daddy when venturing into this, like, so that he could do it better than what you experienced?
I think that using your sugar efforts to lift someone up, not necessarily just like to financially support them. I would say that's a better investment and a lot more fulfilling, and could potentially lead to a more like stable relationship down the line.
One, I feel like you would have better conversations with that person if you're seeking companionship.
Sugar daddies and sugar moms have more of a savior complex. There's this level of like, oh, like I'm helping someone out.
Okay, that was going to kind of be my next question.
Yeah.
That surprises me, because in my head, even though I was like, I'm not judgy, I was judgy. And I was like, in my head thinking, these people are just selfish, though. I was judgy and thought there was no savior complex, and it was just selfish. And selfish on the part of the sugar daddy or mommy. I was mostly thinking about daddy.
I think it's a desire for control masqueraded as in a savior complex.
I could see that because my next question is like, if it's a true savior complex, would the sugar daddy be okay if the sugar baby superseded them in the financial world? Like they built up this
No.
person.
I think they
Yeah.
would hate it.
I would think
Because
so too.
then also by that point, like I could understand that, like maybe if that were to happen, like say a sugar daddy had a sugar baby and like he helped her financially to create her own business and it took off. And if there was no stable actual relationship between them other than the financial part, then of course that is gonna break. But if they came to be two people who respected each other and really cared for each other, maybe not like a romantic love, but still had a lot of respect for each other, I definitely think that could still work out. But I don't think it could work out if it was just like I just want someone on my arm that looks pretty. Most of the sugar daddies do want someone in their 20s. So it is that level of I want someone pretty on my arm and all that stuff. So like
That also isn't gonna like argue back too much.
yeah, so it's like at that point you're like, oh, you're 30, you're too old, you know?
Yeah. And then like, let's say in your example, you were like, I wanted somebody I could bring around my family and my friends and introduce to people. So let's say these people are, you know, they get to that point, it's a full-on relationship, and now they're introducing each other to their significant or to their family and their friends. Are they, most cases, because obviously every case is going to be different, are they telling people how they met, or is that still like taboo?
I think in those dynamics, it's usually them just being like, oh, we met online.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Vague.
don't think they go into like that
Yeah.
much detail.
And I'm like,
at all.
Hinge, or like what?
Yeah.
Okay, Cupid. Yeah.
Any other questions?
I think that answered them all. That was very interesting. That was a fun ride.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Next is the pop quiz.
Yay, this is my favorite part.
The geography pop quiz, a festive quiz on global holiday traditions, myths, and holiday songs. Which line from Baby It's Cold Outside has sparked most of the modern debate around consent? A. Baby, it's cold outside. B. Hey, what's in this drink? C. I ought to say no, no, no. Or D. I really can't stay.
I'm going to go with B because that sounds like a little date rapey drug was put in there.
Yes, it is B. Hey, what's in this drink? So the current perception is, like you said, it sounds like someone is putting something in this drink, but the original line was intended as a joke about societal expectation. So she's essentially at his place and she's like, hey, what's in this drink? But it's because women aren't socially allowed to be flirtatious. And
Oh,
so she's just like,
blaming
oh,
it on the booze.
she's like, oh, the alcohol's just making me really flirty.
Making me
and
horny.
yeah. So it's not a like, oh, he put something in this drink.
I
It's
see.
her saying like, there's something in this drink, but her using it as an excuse to do the thing she already wants to do.
Okay, it was just an aphrodisiac.
Yeah.
What a relief.
Yeah.
Call off the cops.
But a lot of people still like really hate this song.
They do.
So next question. Question 2. Which culture celebrates first footing, where the first visitor of the new year may give a hug or a kiss for good luck? A. Scotland. B. Greece. C. Mexico. Or D. Norway.
First footing. Okay, well, first footing, in quotes, is in English. So I'm doing an educated guess based on that because the country they would speak English in is Scotland. And it would be like with an accent. I'm going to say A, Scotland.
You're right.
Yes.
First footing is a Scottish New Year's tradition where the first person to enter your home after midnight sets the tone for your luck in the coming year.
I love this. I want to do this year. I'm going to gatekeep who comes into my house, but I'm going to take a picture so I don't forget.
The first visitor, called the first footer, is believed to bring good fortune. Traditionally, the ideal first footer, because it's in Scotland, is a tall, dark-haired man.
I got one.
And they're thought to bring prosperity and protection.
Also, I'm very short, so just taller than me.
Easy.
Okay.
Done.
Yeah. So 5'3".
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes they bring gifts and they're usually symbolic. Whiskey is good cheer. Coal or peat is warmth for the home. Shortbread or black bun is food in abundance.
Okay, I
And
like that.
salt is preservation and protection. So if they bring one of those things, that's what it also symbolizes.
Okay, I want the shortbread.
Food and abundance.
Yeah, I don't have use for coal, so
Yeah.
pass.
The kiss isn't a required part of the greeting, but
I insist. If I'm doing the first footing, if I'm coming into somebody's home, I'm going to make them kiss me.
yeah. It's just a good, like, welcoming tradition. This tradition is part of Hogmanay, Scotland's New Year celebration, which is famously bigger than Christmas.
Ah.
Mhm.
I mean, bigger than our Lord and Savior being born. Okay.
Sure. Okay. Next one. Which popular Christmas song was banned on several radio stations for being immoral? A, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. B, All I Want for Christmas. C, Baby It's Cold Outside. Or D, Santa Baby.
I'm going to say D, Santa Baby. I'm surprised that it was banned.
Yeah, it was because Eartha Kitt's rendition sounded so sultry and provocative.
It was just the sound of her singing voice,
Just like her voice, it was very
not even the lyrics.
sexy. It was like too sexy.
Uh,
I think the
calm
lyrics,
down.
I think some of the lyrics are a little provocative too.
Mm-hmm. About like hurrying down my chimney. wink,
Yeah.
wink. It's, I mean, like there's like innuendos.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
innuendos, and it was like in the 1950s, so
Mm-hmm.
that's why it was like banned across all radio stations. Okay. Next question. Where did the modern tradition of kissing under the mistletoe truly take hold? A, Italy, B, France, C, Germany, or D, England?
This is like where it originated.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess France.
Okay. It was D, England.
Ah, can't
So
believe I got it wrong.
The Victorians created elaborate holiday party decorations with kissing balls, which were basically like round green balls that had a mistletoe hanging from the center of it.
Which is a disease, a tree disease, mistletoe.
Oh, it's supposed.
Invasive and kills the tree.
Oh,
Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah.
Mistletoe is an ancient symbol, but the Victorian era is where the like kissing tradition came in. And if you're under the mistletoe, you're expected to kiss someone.
Uh-huh.
And it was also an excuse for the time to be flirty. And it was like a socially acceptable loophole for flirtation of the time period.
Because in the Victorian era, kissing in public was like a huge no-no.
Yeah, it was like
interesting.
considered improper.
But if there was this plant, it was okay.
Yeah.
What was the original like symbolism that it was before that? Didn't you say there was like a symbolism?
Yeah, which is so the original symbol was from Norse mythology.
Mhm.
Essentially, there was a Norse god Frigga. She was a Norse goddess of love and motherhood. She had a son, Baldur, who was the god of joy and light, but he was prophesied to die. She asked every plant, animal, and element to swear that they would not harm him, but the only one that she missed was mistletoe.
Oh.
And then Loki ended up being the one to kill him. He fashioned a spear and arrow from mistletoe and killed Baldur because the mistletoe did not make the vow of harm. So mistletoe killed him, but then he ended up getting resurrected. She was so overjoyed and happy. She declared mistletoe to be a symbol of love and not harm.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. And so that's also then why the Victorian era is like, oh,
Yeah, it's okay.
Kiss, yeah.
Okay.
Hmm?
I like that.
that's the earliest known story of linking mistletoe with affection.
Okay.
But like the Victorian eras where it like really took off, like let's do the tradition of putting the ball in
I feel a lot of pressure when I see mistletoe in a place now.
Yeah, I've never seen mistletoe anywhere.
Really? I've been to
Anywhere.
parties where they have it and it's like, oh God, I do not want to be caught under that shit.
I never been in any instance where there's been a
No,
mistletoe.
like as a kid, I remember like, oh my God, I think I'm having a flashback. They did this at one of our middle school dances. There was like a
really?
mistletoe. Yeah. And we were all like freaked out.
Oh God. That was the Catholic school?
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah. You don't need to ask. You know the answer to that.
Of course it was the Catholic. That's all the Catholic school.
Where's my reparations?
All right. And that's the end of that.
Oh, yay. Okay, I missed one in the pop quiz. I feel like I always miss one. One of these times I'm going to get a perfect score.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah, that was a great presentation. I learned a lot. I had a lot of thoughtful thingies that I thought about. Thoughtful thoughts. It was great.
Yeah. And sugar babies, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But if you're going to do it, be informed.
Yeah. Be
And
smart.
stay cautious.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Stay safe out there, sugar babies.
This is the final episode of this first season. After this, we're going to go on a break, and then we will be back on January 14th. You know, I was really hoping the first semester would just be like general things you would learn in like a human sexuality class, and I just went all over. I was like, whatever I feel like.
Yeah, I was about it. I thought it was great topics.
Yeah. That's the Bell class. Have any questions about human sexuality? Submit them to our anonymous form linked in the show notes. Your homework? Share this episode with a friend, because the best way to destigmatize sex is to talk about it. And if you're ready for extra credit, grab our free Essential Sex Conversations workbook by signing up for our newsletter. That's it for today's lesson. You're all released for winter break now.
Woohoo! Congratulations
Yay.
on your first semester.
Yeah, you finished your first semester. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for having me, Sin.
Of course. I'll see you next semester.
I'm not going to drop out. I'll be here.
Yeah. Class dismissed. Bye.
Bye.